The stars looked different today. Admiral Crickstall stood on the bridge of his massive warship, watching the view screen that showed a small blue and green planet. His 4 arms crossed behind his back as he studied the world that would soon belong to the Zephyrian Empire. "How many ships do we have?" he asked his second in command. 3,047 vessels, sir," Sub-Commander Velther replied. "The largest fleet we have ever assembled." Admiral Crickstall nodded his scaled head. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 star systems in the past 10 years. Each time, the aliens they fought had surrendered quickly when they saw the size of their fleet. This little blue world would be no different. "What do we know about these humans?" the Admiral asked. "They are a young species, sir. They have only been in space for about 100 years. Their ships are made of metal and use chemical rockets, very primitive. Their weapons are simple energy beams and explosive missiles." Admiral Crickstall smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "This will be easy then. Signal the fleet. We move toward their world in 1 hour." Far away on Earth, Colonel Jake Morrison was having a very bad day. He sat in his office deep inside a mountain in Colorado, staring at numbers on his computer screen that made no sense. The gravitational sensors were showing readings that should have been impossible. "Sir, you need to see this," Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez said as she rushed into his office. She was a young woman with dark hair and worried eyes. "The quantum signature readings are off the charts." Jake looked at the data she handed him, ran it again. "I already ran it 3 times, sir. The results are the same every time." Jake felt his stomach drop. The numbers showed something massive approaching Earth's solar system, something bigger than anything they had ever detected before. "Get me the president," he said. 2 hours later, President Linda Carter sat in the Situation room with her top military advisors. She was a tall woman with gray hair who had served in the Air Force before entering politics. She looked tired but alert as General Paul Hughes spread out the intelligence reports. "Ma'am, we're looking at a fleet that could block out the sun," General Hughes said. He was a big man with a deep voice who had fought in 3 wars. "Our deep space monitors detected them 2 days ago. They're still far away, but they're heading straight for Earth." "How long do we have?" the president asked. "At their current speed, about 2 weeks," Amy Rodriguez replied. She had been flown in from Colorado to brief the president personally. "But ma'am, these ships are huge. Each one is the size of a small city." President Carter looked around the table at her advisors. "Options? We have the Luna Defense Grid," General Hughes said. 12 weapon platforms orbiting the moon. "We also have the Mars orbital stations and our deep space monitoring network. But if these readings are accurate, we're facing something we've never seen before." "What about our fleet?" the president asked. "We have 47 warships, ma'am. Our best ship is the USS Defiance under Captain Lisa Bennett. But compared to what's coming, we might as well be throwing rocks." The room fell silent. Everyone knew what this meant. Earth was about to face an invasion force that could destroy them easily. Dr. Kevin Walsh had been quiet during the meeting. He was a thin man with gray hair who ran the Department of Advanced Warfare. Most people didn't know his department existed. Now he cleared his throat. "Ma'am, there's something the aliens don't know about us. Something we've kept classified, even from our own allies." Everyone turned to look at him. President Carter raised an eyebrow. "Go on." 15 years ago, we found something in the Kuiper Belt, a crashed alien probe. We've been studying it ever since. We've learned things, built things. We're not as helpless as we appear." General Hughes frowned. "What kind of things?" Dr. Walsh smiled for the first time since the meeting started. "The kind of things that might surprise our visitors." Meanwhile, in space, the Zephyrian fleet continued its approach. to Earth. The ships were massive, dark vessels that looked like flying mountains. Each one carried thousands of warriors and enough firepower to level a continent. Admiral Kriegstow walked through the corridors of his flagship, the Dominion's Edge. The ship was so large that it took 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Everywhere he looked, he saw his warriors preparing for battle. They cleaned their weapons, checked their armor, and practiced their combat drills. "Sir," Sub-Commander Velther approached him. "We have received new intelligence about the humans." "What have you learned?" "They have a small fleet, sir. Less than 50 ships. Their largest vessel is only 1/10 the size of our smallest cruiser. They also have some defensive platforms around their moon, but nothing that could threaten us." Admiral Kriegstow nodded. "As expected. Have you prepared the standard surrender demand?" "Yes, sir. We will broadcast it when we reach their solar system." "Good. I want this conquest to be quick and clean. These humans will learn that resistance is futile." Back on Earth, Dr. Walsh stood in a secret facility buried 3 miles beneath the Colorado Mountains. The facility was so classified that only 12 people knew it existed. The walls were lined with technology that looked like it came from science fiction movies. "How are the preparations going?" he asked Dr. Helen Murphy, his chief scientist. "All quantum field generators are online," she replied. "The gravitational manipulation systems are functioning perfectly. The stealth projectors are hiding our true capabilities. And the weapon platforms? Fully charged and ready. The aliens won't know what hit them." Dr. Walsh nodded. For 15 years, they had been preparing for this moment. When they found that crashed alien probe, they knew Earth was being watched. Instead of panicking, they had decided to prepare. They studied every piece of alien technology they could find. They reverse-engineered it, improved it, and built weapons that could surprise any invader. "Sir," Major Chris Parker called from his control station. "We're getting reports from our long-range sensors. The alien fleet has entered the outer solar system. How long until they reach Earth?" 48 hours, sir," Dr. Walsh smiled. "Then it's time to see if 15 years of preparation were worth it." In space, Admiral Kriegstow received the first detailed scans of Earth's defenses. The reports confirmed what he already knew. The humans had a few small ships and some basic weapon platforms. Nothing that could threaten his mighty fleet. "Prepare the surrender demand," he ordered. "Let's give these humans a chance to submit peacefully before we demonstrate our power." The Zephyrian fleet moved closer to Earth, confident in their overwhelming superiority. They had no idea that they were flying into the most carefully prepared trap in galactic history. The message came at exactly noon, Earth time. Every radio, television, and communication device on the planet suddenly went silent. Then a deep, alien voice spoke in perfect English. "People of Earth, I am Admiral Kriegstow of the Zephyrian Empire. Your world has been chosen for conquest. You will surrender immediately and submit to Imperial rule. If you resist, your species will be destroyed. You have 12 of your planetary rotations to comply." The transmission ended as suddenly as it had begun. For a moment, Earth was completely silent. Then chaos erupted. Phone lines jammed. Emergency broadcasts filled the airwaves. People ran through the streets, some screaming, others praying. Then, the White House, President Linda Carter, called another emergency meeting. "How did they do that?" she asked. "How did they take over every communication system on Earth?" "Advanced technology, ma'am," Amy Rodriguez replied. "Far beyond anything we have in our public systems." General Paul Hughes spread new intelligence. Reports across the table. "We've got a better look at their fleet now. The lead ship is 15 miles long. Some of the smaller vessels are still bigger than our largest aircraft carriers." Dr. Kevin Walsh remained calm while everyone else looked worried. "Ma'am, I recommend we send a ship to make contact. We need to buy time. Time for what? President Carter asked. To complete our preparations. Dr. Walsh said quietly, Captain. Lisa Bennett stood on the bridge of the USS Defiance, humanity's most advanced warship. The ship was sleek and modern, with the latest technology Earth could build. But compared to the massive alien vessels on her view screen, it looked like a toy boat next to an aircraft carrier. Captain, her communications officer said, we're receiving a message from the alien flagship. They want to meet. Lisa nodded. Send our reply. Tell them we'll meet in neutral space, halfway between our fleets. The alien response came quickly. The human vessel will approach alone. Any weapons fire will result in immediate destruction. Lisa looked at her crew. They were good people, brave men and women who had volunteered for this mission, knowing they might not return. Take us in, she ordered. On the alien flagship, Admiral Crickstow watched the small human ship approach. Sub-Commander Velther stood beside him, studying the readings from their sensors. Their ship is even more primitive than we thought, Velther said. Metal hull, basic energy shields, simple weapons. I'm surprised it can even fly in space. What? About their crew? Admiral Crickstow asked. 500 humans, sir. All showing signs of fear and stress. They know they cannot win. Admiral Crickstow nodded. Good. Fear will make them more willing to surrender. The USS Defiance docked with a small Zephyrian vessel that had been sent to neutral space for the meeting. Captain Bennett, along with Commander. Ryan Torres and Dr. Helen Murphy prepared to board the alien ship. Remember, Dr. Murphy said quietly, we need to learn as much as we can about their technology. And we need to make them underestimate us, Commander Torres added. Captain Bennett nodded. Let's go meet our new neighbors. The interior of the alien ship was dark and cold. The walls were made of some kind of black metal that seemed to absorb light. Strange symbols glowed along the corridors, and the air smelled like sulfur. Admiral Crickstow was waiting in the main meeting room. He was huge, standing nearly 8 feet tall. His skin was covered in dark scales, and he had 4 powerful arms. His eyes were yellow and cold. 2 other aliens stood behind him, equally intimidating. So, Admiral Crickstow said, his voice deep and threatening, you are the representatives of humanity. Captain Bennett stepped forward. She was a small woman compared to the aliens, but she showed no fear. I am Captain Lisa Bennett of the United Earth Space Force. These are my officers, Commander Torres and Dr. Murphy. You have seen our fleet, Admiral Crickstow continued. 3,000 ships, weapons that can destroy planets. Warriors who have conquered 17 star systems. Surrender now, and your species will be allowed to live as servants of the Empire. That's generous, Captain Bennett said calmly. But I'm afraid we have a different proposal. The aliens looked surprised. Admiral Crickstow's 4 arms crossed in front of his chest. You wish to negotiate terms of surrender? Actually, no, Captain Bennett replied. We're here to ask you to leave our solar system peacefully. This is your only warning. The room fell. Silent, the aliens stared at the 3 humans as if they had lost their minds. Then Admiral Crickstow began to laugh. It was a horrible sound, like rocks grinding together. Your only warning? He repeated. Human, you amuse me. Perhaps you do not understand the situation. We have 3,000 warships. You have fewer than 50. We have weapons that can crack moons. You have toys. Dr. Murphy stepped forward. Admiral, with respect, you don't know everything about us. I know enough, Admiral Crickstow replied. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Your ships are slow and weak. Your weapons are pathetic. You should be grateful we're offering you the chance to serve rather than simply destroying you. Commander Torres smiled. Admiral, what if I told you that everything you think you know about us is wrong? I would say you are desperate and lying, Admiral Crixtel answered. Then let me show you something, Commander Torres said. He pulled out a small device that looked like a simple communicator. This is a quantum communication device. It can send messages instantly across any distance. Your sensors probably can't even detect it. Admiral Crixtal's expression changed slightly. Impossible. Quantum communication requires technology that wouldn't be developed for thousands of years on a world like yours. And yet here it is, Dr. Murphy said. Admiral, we've been watching you for a long time. We know about your empire. We know about your conquests. We know about your weapons. But you know nothing about ours. Captain Bennett added. Admiral Crixtel was no longer laughing. You're bluffing. If you had advanced technology, our scouts would have detected it. Your scouts detected exactly what we wanted them to detect, Commander Torres said. Welcome to human deception warfare. Deep beneath the Colorado mountains, Dr. Walsh watched the meeting through hidden cameras. Major Chris Parker sat at his control station, ready to activate Earth's hidden defenses. Sir, Major Parker said, all weapon systems are online. The quantum field generators are ready. The stealth projectors are keeping us hidden. How long until the alien fleet is in position? Dr. Walsh asked. 20 minutes, sir. They're moving. Into the exact formation we predicted, Dr. Walsh nodded. Then it's almost time to show them what we've learned. Back on the alien vessel, Admiral Crixtel was growing angry. Enough games. You will surrender now, or I will demonstrate the power of this Ephraim Empire. Go ahead, Captain Bennett said. But remember, we warned you. Admiral Crixtel activated his communicator. All ships, prepare to fire on Earth's moon. Let's show these humans what happens to those who refuse to submit. The order went out across the Zephyrian fleet. 3,000 warships began to charge their weapons. Energy collectors started to glow. Missile tubes loaded with planet-killing warheads. Dr. Walsh received the signal he had been waiting for. All stations, this is control. The aliens are about to fire on the moon. Execute Protocol 7. Show them what we've been building for. 15 years. Throughout the solar system, hidden weapon platforms came online. Stealth generators shut down, revealing massive defense stations that had been invisible to alien sensors. Quantum field generators activated, creating gravity wells. That would trap the enemy fleet. Captain Bennett smiled at Admiral Crixtel. You should have taken our warning seriously. What warning? Admiral Crixtel demanded. The one we gave you 15 years ago, Captain Bennett replied. When your scout ship crashed in our outer system. Did you really think we wouldn't find it? Did you think we wouldn't learn from it? Admiral Crixtel's eyes widened in horror. The probe. You found the probe. We found it. We studied it. We reverse-engineered it. And we've been waiting for you ever since. Suddenly, alarms began blaring throughout the alien ship. Sub-Commander Velther rushed to Admiral Crixtel's side. Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures throughout the system. Weapons we've never seen before. Ships that shouldn't exist. Admiral Crixtel looked at Captain Bennett with new understanding. You've been preparing for war. No, Captain Bennett said quietly. We've been preparing for you. The first sign something was wrong came when Admiral Crixtel's flagship stopped moving. The massive ship, which had been turning toward Earth's moon, suddenly found itself trapped in space. The engines roared at full power, but the ship remained perfectly still. What's happening? Admiral Crixtel demanded from the bridge. Sir, we're caught in some kind of gravity field, Sub-Commander Velther reported. Our engines can't break free. That's impossible. Nothing on this primitive world could create a gravity field strong enough to hold us. Across the Zephyrian fleet, the same thing was happening. 3,000 warships found themselves unable to move. They were trapped like flies in an invisible web. Panic began to spread through the alien crews, deep beneath the Colorado mountains. Dr. Walsh watched the alien fleet struggle against the quantum field generators. "Perfect," he said. "They're exactly where we want them." Major Chris Parker sat at his control station, his fingers dancing across the controls. "All gravity wells are stable, sir. The alien fleet is completely immobilized." "What about their weapons?" Dr. Walsh asked. "They can still fire, but they can't aim properly. The gravity distortion is affecting their targeting systems." Dr. Walsh smiled. "Then it's time for the second surprise." In space, something impossible began to happen. Ships appeared out of nowhere. Not the slow, clumsy vessels the aliens had detected before, but sleek, fast warships that moved like birds through space. They appeared and disappeared, striking at the trapped alien vessels and vanishing before return fire could reach them. Captain Sarah Brooks piloted her stealth fighter, Phoenix Wing, through the alien formation. Her ship was invisible to enemy sensors, able to phase in and out of normal space using technology the aliens had never seen. "This is Phoenix Wing," she reported to Earth Command. "Beginning attack run on the alien flagship." Her ship materialized directly above the Dominion's edge. Energy beams lanced out from her weapons, cutting through the alien ship's shields like they were made of paper. The massive vessel shuddered under the impact. "Impossible," Admiral Crickstall whispered as he watched the readings. "Their energy output is higher than our dreadnoughts." More human ships appeared around the alien fleet. The USS Defiance, which had seemed so small and weak, suddenly revealed its true power. Weapons emerged from hidden compartments. Energy shields flared to life. The ship moved with speed and grace that should have been impossible for something built with primitive technology. Captain Lisa Bennett stood on her bridge, watching the battle unfold. "All weapons. Target the alien cruisers. Let's show them what human engineering can do." The Defiance's main guns fired. Beams of pure energy struck the alien ships, and entire sections simply vanished. The weapons didn't just destroy the enemy vessels. They erased them from existence. Lieutenant Colonel Marcus Davis commanded the hidden fortress New Horizon. The station had been disguised as a small asteroid for 15 years, floating in the outer solar system. Now it revealed itself as a massive weapon platform covered in guns that could destroy planets. "Target acquired," he reported. "Firing quantum disruptors." The weapons fired. Where they struck, alien ships simply stopped existing. Not destroyed, not blown apart, but completely removed from reality. The Zephyrian crews watched in horror as their sister ships vanished without a trace. Back on the alien diplomatic vessel, Admiral Crickstall stared at Captain Bennett with new understanding. "You've been lying to us from the beginning." "Not lying," Captain Bennett replied. "Hiding. There's a difference. Your technology readings showed primitive capabilities." "The readings showed exactly what we wanted them to show," Commander Torres said. "Every sensor scan, every probe, every intelligence report. We controlled what you learned about us." Dr. Helen Murphy stepped forward. "Admiral, your empire made a fatal mistake. You assumed that because we appeared weak, we were weak. You never considered that we might be hiding our true strength. But how?" Admiral Crickstall demanded. "Your world is young. Your species has only been in space for a century." "That's what you were meant to think," Dr. Murphy replied. "The truth is, we've been preparing for this moment for 15 years. Ever since we found your scout probe." Admiral Crickstall's face went pale. "The probe from the Kuiper Belt. You found it." "We found it. We studied it. We learned from it. And we used it to prepare for your arrival. On Earth, Dr. Walsh monitored the battle from his command center. The alien fleet was being systematically destroyed. Human weapons that had been hidden for years were revealing themselves throughout the solar system. Status report, he ordered. Enemy fleet strength is down to 60%, Major Parker reported. All our weapon systems are functioning perfectly. No human casualties. What about their flagship? The Dominion's Edge is trapped and taking heavy damage. Admiral Crickstall's ship won't last much longer. Dr. Walsh nodded. Signal all units. Begin the final phase. Throughout the solar system, more human ships appeared. These were the real vessels of Earth's space fleet, not the decoys the aliens had detected. They were fast, powerful, and equipped with weapons that could crack moons. Captain Alex Thompson commanded the battleship Earth's Fury. His ship was 5 times larger than the USS Defiance, with enough firepower to level a continent. It had been hidden in the asteroid belt for 3 years, waiting for this moment. All ships, this is Earth's Fury, he broadcast. Time to end this. The real human fleet opened fire. Energy beams that could punch through planet cores struck the alien vessels. Missiles that could destroy cities found their targets. The space around Earth lit up like a new star as the weapons fired. Admiral Crickstall's flagship shook violently. Emergency lights flashed throughout the bridge. Crew members ran back and forth, trying to keep the ship together as human weapons tore it apart. Sir, Subcommander Velther reported, we've lost main engines. Weapons are offline. Life support is failing. How many ships do we have left? Less than 500, sir. The humans are destroying us faster than we can count. Admiral Crickstall looked at Captain Bennett with something like respect. You planned this entire battle. We planned for every possibility, Captain Bennett replied. We knew your tactics. We studied your weapons. We learned your weaknesses. And we've been waiting for you to come to us, Commander Torres added. This is impossible, Admiral Crickstall said. No species develops technology this quickly. It should have taken you thousands of years. It would have, Dr. Murphy said, if we had started from scratch, but we didn't. We had your technology to study. We had 15 years to prepare. And we had something you don't understand. What? Human determination. When we learned we were being watched, we didn't panic. We didn't hide. We prepared for war. On his command station, Major Parker watched the alien fleet continue to shrink. Sir, enemy fleet strength is now down to 20%. Most of their remaining ships are trying to retreat. Let them go, Dr. Walsh ordered, but make sure they understand the message. Captain Sarah Brooks, still piloting her stealth fighter, pursued the fleeing alien ships. She didn't destroy them, but she made sure they knew she could. Her ship appeared next to them, fired a warning shot, and vanished again. This is Earth Command to all retreating vessels, she broadcast. You are leaving our solar system. If you ever return, you will be destroyed. Tell your empire what you saw here today. Admiral Crickstall's flagship was dying. The bridge was filled with smoke and sparks. Half his crew was dead or wounded. But he was still alive, and he had learned something important. Captain Bennett, he said, your species is not what we expected. No, Captain Bennett replied. We're not. We're something much more dangerous. What are you? We're humans. And we don't surrender. The battle was over. In less than 6 hours, the mighty Zephyrian invasion fleet had been reduced to scattered wreckage. The few surviving ships fled toward the edge of the solar system, carrying news of humanity's true power back to their empire. On Earth, people watched the sky and saw the lights of victory. The alien threat was over. But more importantly, the galaxy had learned that humanity was not a species to be conquered. They were a species to be feared. Dr. Walsh stood in his command center, watching the last alien ships disappear into deep space. Signal all stations, he ordered. Mission accomplished. Earth is safe, but he knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The Dominion's edge was dying. Admiral Crickstall felt the deck shake beneath his feet as another human weapon struck his flagship. The lights flickered and went out. Emergency power kicked in, casting everything in a red glow. Damage report, he demanded. Hull breaches on decks 7 through 15. Sub-Commander Veltha replied. Main engines are completely destroyed. We're down to backup power only. How many ships do we have left? 412, sir. We're losing vessels faster than our computers can count them. Admiral Crickstall looked at the tactical display. Red dots representing his ships were disappearing one by one. Each dot represented thousands of his warriors. In just 2 hours, he had lost more ships than in his entire military career. This is impossible, he whispered. We are the Zephyrian Empire. We have conquered 17 star systems. We have weapons that can destroy planets. Sir, his communications officer called out, we're receiving surrender requests from our remaining ships. They want permission to retreat. Admiral Crickstall's 4 hands clenched into fists. The Zephyrian Empire does not retreat. With respect, sir, the Zephyrian Empire has never faced anything like this. Captain Sarah Brooks continued her attacks on the alien fleet. Her stealth fighter, Phoenix Wing, moved through space like a ghost. She would appear next to an alien ship, fire her weapons, and vanish before they could fight back. This is Phoenix. Wing, she reported to Earth Command. I've destroyed 6 enemy cruisers in the past hour. They can't even see me coming. Her ship's quantum phase technology allowed her to slip in and out of normal space. To the aliens, she was invisible until the moment she struck. Her weapons used the same energy that powered stars, concentrated into beams that could cut through any armor. Phoenix Wing, this is Earth Command, came the reply. Move to Sector 7. We have a group of alien ships trying to break through our gravity fields. On my way, Sarah replied. She found 12 alien vessels struggling against this quantum field generators. Their engines were running at full power, but they remained trapped in place. Sarah's ship appeared above them like a bird of prey. Attention, alien vessels, she broadcast. You are surrounded. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. The alien ships responded by firing everything they had at her. Energy beams and missiles filled the space where her ship had been. But Phoenix Wing was already gone, reappearing behind them. Wrong answer, Sarah said, and opened fire. Lieutenant Colonel Marcus Davis watched the battle from his command post aboard New Horizon Station. The hidden fortress had revealed itself as a massive weapon platform, bristling with guns that could destroy anything in space. Target the alien battle group in Sector 12, he ordered. Target acquired, his weapons officer replied, firing quantum disruptors. The weapons fired. Where the beams struck, alien ships simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not blown apart, but completely removed from reality. The space where they had been was empty, as if they had never existed at all. Direct hit on all targets, the weapons. Officer reported, 15 enemy vessels eliminated. Marcus nodded. Find the next group. The quantum disruptors were humanity's most terrifying weapon. They didn't just destroy matter. They unraveled the basic forces that held atoms together. When struck by these weapons, objects simply stopped existing in any meaningful way. Captain Alex Thompson commanded the battleship Earth's Fury from the asteroid belt. His ship was a monster, 5 miles long and packed with enough firepower to level a small moon. It had been hidden for 3 years, disguised as a large asteroid. All weapons target the alien command ship, he ordered. Sir, that's Admiral Crickstall's flagship. If we destroy it, the entire alien fleet might surrender. That's the idea, Alex replied. Fire. The Earth's Fury's main gun spoke. Energy beams that could crack planets lanced across space. They struck. The Dominion's edge with the force of a nuclear explosion. The massive alien ship shuddered and began to break apart. On the bridge of the dying flagship, Admiral Crickstall was thrown to the floor. Sparks flew from control panels. The air filled with smoke and the smell of burning metal. Sir, Sub-Commander Velther shouted over the noise. We have to abandon ship. The hull is breaking up. Never, Admiral Crickstall replied. I am the Admiral of the Zephyrian Empire. I do not run from battle. Sir, this isn't a battle anymore. It's a massacre. Admiral Crickstall looked at the tactical display. Less than 300 of his ships remained. The humans were destroying them with ease. His mighty fleet, the largest in the galaxy, was being wiped out by a species he had thought was primitive. How? He asked. How did they become so powerful? Sir, we should have listened to the humans' warning, Velther replied. They told us to leave peacefully. They were bluffing. No, sir, they were being merciful. Dr. Kevin Walsh monitored the battle from his command center, deep beneath the Colorado Mountains. The alien fleet was almost gone. In 4 hours, humanity had destroyed over 2,000 enemy ships. Status report, he ordered. Enemy fleet strength is down to 8%, Major Chris Parker reported. Most of their remaining ships are trying to surrender. What about? Their flagship, the Dominion's Edge, is breaking up. Admiral Crickstall's ship will be destroyed in the next few minutes. Dr. Walsh nodded. Signal all units. Prepare to accept surrenders. But make sure they understand the terms. Throughout the solar system, the remaining alien ships were throwing down their weapons. They had seen their fleet destroyed in hours. They had watched their most powerful warships vanish without a trace. They knew they were beaten. Captain Lisa Bennett stood on the bridge of the USS Defiance, watching the alien flagship die. She felt no joy in the victory. Too many beings had died today, alien and human alike, but the Earth was safe. Captain, her communications officer said, we're receiving a transmission from Admiral Crickstall's ship. Put it through. The image of Admiral Crickstall appeared on the screen. His face was covered in blood. His uniform was torn and burned. But his eyes still held the pride of a warrior. Captain Bennett, he said, I request permission to speak with you. Go ahead, Admiral. My ship is dying. My fleet is destroyed. But I need to know. How long have you been planning this? Lisa looked at the alien commander with something like respect. 15 years, Admiral. Ever since we found your scout probe. 15 years of deception. 15 years of preparation. We knew you were coming. We knew what you could do. So we got ready. Admiral Crickstall nodded slowly. Your species is more dangerous than we realized. We're not dangerous unless you threaten us. We offered you peace, and I chose war. Yes, you did. The alien admiral was quiet for a moment. Captain Bennett, I have one request. What is it? My surviving warriors. They followed my orders. They don't deserve to die for my mistakes. Lisa nodded. Any ship that surrenders will be spared. We'll treat your wounded and repatriate your survivors. Thank you. The transmission ended. Moments later, the Dominion's edge broke apart in a silent explosion. The flagship of the mighty Zephyrian Empire was gone, taking Admiral Crickstall with it. Across the solar system, the remaining alien ships were powering down their weapons. White flags appeared on their hulls, the universal symbol of surrender. This is Earth Command to all alien vessels, Dr. Walsh broadcast. You will be treated according to the galactic laws of war. Your wounded will receive medical attention. Your survivors will be returned to your empire. The battle was over. In less than 6 hours, the largest invasion fleet in galactic history had been destroyed. Humanity had won a victory that would be remembered forever, but the real impact was just beginning. News of the battle would spread throughout the galaxy. Every species would learn that Earth was not a world to be conquered. It was a world to be feared and respected. The age of human expansion was about to begin. The last alien ship limped out of Earth's solar system 3 days after the battle. Captain Sarah Brooks watched it go from the cockpit of her stealth fighter. The small Zephyrian vessel was packed with survivors, carrying the story of humanity's victory back to their empire. "This is Phoenix Wing," she reported to Earth Command. "The last enemy ship has left our system." "Understood, Phoenix Wing? Return to base." Sarah looked back at Earth, hanging like a blue jewel in the darkness. The planet looked peaceful now. No one would have guessed that the greatest space battle in galactic history had just taken place here. On Earth, President Linda Carter stood before the cameras in the White House. Behind her, a large screen showed images of the alien fleet being destroyed. The whole world was watching. "My fellow humans," she began, "3 days ago, we faced the greatest threat in our planet's history. An alien empire sent over 3,000 warships to conquer Earth. Today, I can tell you that this threat has been eliminated." She paused, letting her words sink in. "But more importantly, we have sent a message to the galaxy. Earth is not a world to be conquered. We are a species that will defend ourselves and our allies with everything we have." The president's speech was broadcast, not just to Earth, but to every inhabited world in the galaxy. Alien governments watched in shock as they learned what had happened to the mighty Zephyrian Empire. Dr. Kevin Walsh sat in his underground command center, reading reports from around the galaxy. The reaction was exactly what he had hoped for: fear, respect, and a new understanding of humanity's place in the universe. "Sir," Major Chris Parker said, "we're receiving diplomatic messages from 17 different star systems. They all want to establish trade relations with Earth. What about the Zephyrian Empire? They've sent a formal surrender. They're offering to pay war damages and asking for a peace treaty." Dr. Walsh smiled. 15 years of preparation, and it worked perfectly. Captain Lisa Bennett stood on the observation deck of the USS Defiance, watching the cleanup operation. Human ships moved through the debris field, searching for alien survivors. They had found over 12,000 Zephyrians alive in the wreckage. Commander Ryan Torres joined her at the window. "How are the prisoners doing?" "They're not prisoners," Lisa corrected. "They're survivors, and they're doing well. Dr. Murphy says most of them will make full recoveries." "They seem confused about how we're treating them." Lisa nodded. "Their empire conquers and enslaves. They don't understand mercy. Maybe that's about to change." On the medical ship Hope's Light, Dr. Helen Murphy worked to save alien lives. The Zephyrians had never seen medical technology like hers. Broken bones healed in hours. Severe burns disappeared overnight. Warriors who should have died were walking again. "Doctor," one of the alien patients said through a translator, "why are you helping us? We came here to destroy your world." Dr. Murphy looked up from her work. "Because that's what humans do. We help those who need help, even our enemies." The alien warrior was quiet for a long moment. "My name is Vextar. I have fought in 7 wars for the Empire. I have never seen anything like this." "What do you mean?" "Victory without hatred. Mercy without weakness. Your species is not what we were told." Dr. Murphy smiled. "What were you told?" "That humans were primitive, violent, that you would fight each other even while being conquered." "We do fight each other sometimes, Dr. Murphy." "Admitted. But when someone threatens our home, we stand together." The news of Earth's victory spread through the galaxy. like wildfire. On a dozen worlds, alien leaders called emergency meetings. The balance of power had shifted overnight. Emperor Zixthol of the Zephyrian Empire sat alone in his throne room, reading the final report from Admiral Kriegstahl's fleet. Of 3,000 ships, only 200 had survived. The admiral himself was dead, along with over 2 million warriors. "Impossible," he whispered. "How did this happen?" His advisor, Chancellor Kixmore, stood nearby. "Sire, it appears we underestimated the humans. Greatly. They were supposed to be primitive, weak. That was what our intelligence reported. But it seems they were hiding their true capabilities." Emperor Zixthol stood and walked to the window. Outside, he could see the lights of his capital city. For centuries, the Zephyrian Empire had grown by conquest. Now, for the first time, they had met a species they could not defeat. "Send word to Earth," he ordered. "We wish to negotiate a peace treaty." "Sire, we have never negotiated with our enemies before. We have never had enemies like this before." 3 weeks later, Captain Lisa Bennett stood in the newly built embassy station orbiting Earth. She was no longer just a captain. President Carter had promoted her to admiral and put her in charge of Earth's first diplomatic mission to the galaxy. The station was bustling with activity. Aliens from a dozen different species had come to establish relations with humanity. They all wanted to be friends with the species that had destroyed the Zephyrian fleet. "Admiral Bennett," her aide said, "the Corvin delegation is here for their meeting." Lisa nodded. The Corvins had been conquered by the Zephyrians 5 years. Go. Now they were asking for Earth's help in winning back their freedom. "Send them in." The Corvin ambassador was a tall, thin alien with blue skin and large eyes. He bowed deeply when he entered the room. "Admiral Bennett," he said, "I am Ambassador Tylhon of the Corvin Republic. We come seeking your aid." "Please sit down," Lisa said. "Tell me how we can help." "The Zephyrian Empire has enslaved our people. We have been fighting for our freedom, but we are too weak to succeed alone. We ask for Earth's protection." Lisa considered this carefully. "Ambassador, Earth is not interested in building an empire, but we are interested in protecting freedom." "Then, you will help us?" "We will consider it. But first, we need to establish some ground rules for this new galaxy we're all living in." On Earth, Dr. Walsh met with President Carter in the Oval Office. Outside the windows, they could see alien ships landing at the newly built spaceport in Washington, D.C. "How many requests for alliance have we received?" the President asked. 47 so far," Dr. Walsh replied. "Everyone wants to be on our side now. What about the Zephyrian Empire? They've signed the peace treaty. No more expansion. No more conquests. They're actually asking us to help them transition to a peaceful government." President Carter smiled. "A year ago, they wanted to conquer us. Now they want our help becoming better people." "Power changes everything," Dr. Walsh said. "But so does how you use that power. And how are we using it? Carefully. We're building alliances, not an empire. We're protecting the weak, not conquering them. We're showing the galaxy that there's a better way." 6 months after the battle, Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez stood in the new Space Command Center in Colorado. She was now Colonel Rodriguez, in charge of monitoring galactic communications. "Colonel," her assistant said, "we're picking up interesting chatter from the Outer Rim territories." "What kind of chatter?" "It seems word of our victory has reached species we've never heard of. They're calling us the Guardians and asking when we're going to expand beyond our solar system." Amy smiled. "Looks like Earth's reputation is growing." "Ma'am, there's something else. We're detecting new alien probes entering our system. But these aren't spy missions." "What are they?" "Pilgrimage ships. Aliens coming to see the world that defeated the Zephyrian Empire." Amy looked out at the stars. A year ago, Earth had been alone in the galaxy, thinking they were just another young species struggling to reach the stars. Now they were the most feared and respected civilization in known space. Colonel, her assistant continued, Admiral Bennett is requesting permission to establish Earth's first colony outside the solar system. The Corvin Republic has offered us a planet in their system. For what purpose? To build a base where we can better protect our new allies. Amy nodded. Approved. It's time for humanity to take its place among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same. The age of conquest was over. The age of protection had begun. And at the center of it all was a small blue planet whose people had learned that sometimes the best way to ensure peace was to be prepared for war. Earth's children would walk among the stars not as conquerors, but as guardians of a new galactic order where freedom mattered more than power, and mercy was stronger than fear.